Hello. Hey guys, good morning. How are you? Let me stop the music. I hope it's not horrible. Today we're gonna talk about generally some of the best practices of Datasmith. We're gonna talk about lighting, continue where we started yesterday. I'm just waiting for Unreal Engine to finish compiling shaders. And we will talk ray tracing. Ya boy, Sagar, I got you, Omi. So, Sai, Sagar, Ghost Reborn, Atta, Darashti, good morning to all of you. How are you guys doing? Good? Okay, let's do this. And I got my hydrator. And I got my coffee. I'm ready. So I hope you're staying hydrated. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Usually I have a glass of water. I'm just kidding. I always drink like this. I need to change the chair because you might be able to hear this. One second. Living with this guy. This dude here. Every time I need to sit on any chair, I have to do this. So, here's this. Yeah. But it's okay. He's a really good boy. Say hello. Okay, just leave me alone. Sagar, data drains. Good morning, my guys. Afternoon, evening, wherever you're at, whenever you watch this. Today is gonna be fun. So I'm gonna put the chat here on the right. And it's kind of funny. I wake up very early and I was thinking like, hey, I should make go live earlier. But Murphy. So let's do this. I was preparing the projects. I was surprised like Unreal Engine decided to recompile the shaders on the same project from yesterday, and it took like 20 minutes. I don't know why. Happens to the best of us. Okay. The reason we're gonna talk about Datasmith today and like some of the best practices and generally how it works, because yesterday I was teaching a session in Arabic, private classes. I'm gonna announce English ones today. And I got some great questions from beginners who are just getting started with Unreal Engine, whatever tool you're using, how, like when we import our project in Unreal Engine, that's great. But the customer or the team or like there will always be so much changes happening on the project. So how can we deal with this? We're gonna talk about this. So I got you because I had nightmares dealing with changes like over the years since I started. So I'll do my best to remember everything from yesterday and like show some examples today to talk about some of my ways and some of the best practices and how we can make the process of doing any changes in 3ds Max or SketchUp or Revit as seamless as possible, or like as to be really easy to deal with. Like you won't be, damn it, there is a new change, now I need to re-import everything. No, thankfully we don't re-import everything. All right, so just let me make sure everything, guys, you can hear me very well. Everything is good. The chat, we can see it here, right? Just need to your yes to go. M Design, my man, good morning. India, my guys. Yes, I think this is a good timing for our regions, especially India. I think now it's 11 a.m. Right? Where are you guys watching from? All of you. Tell me. Okay. So let's talk. Let's get into it. Unreal Engine, coffee. I'm great. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here, all of you guys. It's good to see you. Yes. Let me start this before we get started into Unreal. Get started with Unreal. We're building a community for students, for anyone who is learning Unreal Engine in architecture, engineering, and construction, like AEC, you know, who want to be professional in this. There is VR Division Academy. And other than architecture, sorry about the cat, there are tutorials, like maybe up to 2 hours or 1 hour of how to make a specific environment, like a Bob Ross environment. Oh, there is a new video coming soon. I was watching Corridor Crew latest video. They made another Bob Ross challenge. This is so cool. I made one. So for example, the first version of this on the Academy, it's available for everyone for free. Like there are multiple paths, and the paid stuff, it's the AEC stuff. There is more than 100 videos on so many topics, and like so much we're gonna talk about today, but it's already here. So that's one way to, you know, help us fund this place, make more tutorials, and build a community, whether you are a member or not. Everyone, like, yeah, I'm gonna gather a place for us. It's here. And the Bob Ross challenge, yeah, here there is a free Unreal Engine auto landscape material I attached to this project. So anyone basically can open this link here. Like I'm gonna put there is a link to this page in the description. Just go to the courses. There is here the link, and you can watch the videos. And again, why I'm doing this on YouTube, it's great. But on YouTube, like any video you open, there are so many videos, so many, like, it's just endless loop of you could get distracted. So here, there are no ads. So all of our videos where you see on YouTube where I put ads, there are no ads. It's completely free, and it's much more organized. And when you click on a lesson, it's like something I'm working on, but we can add like material, lesson material, like descriptions, more links, more useful resources. And yeah, that's the next step. Slowly but surely, we are building VR Division Academy. So join us. Come to the place, to the here, like, and there is like sign up, and yeah, that's important. I always forget to talk about this in the videos and everywhere. I'm like, this is my number one thing. Every day I wake up from the bed, work on VR Division Academy to the moment I sleep. All right, and yeah, it's good to be here back on the live sessions here on YouTube. But yeah, I thought, hey, like, tell everyone about what you're doing. Good morning, Marwan, Risa. Good to see you guys. Okay, let's get. Oh, Risa, you were with the Aptech training session. Thank you so much. It was so good to teach that session. It was so much fun. Um, wow, it's good to see you again. All right. So I was trying to download a project I worked on a few years ago, but there are bugs. Please, bro. Will it work? Yes, thank you. This is like 3-4 years old project. Stay hydrated, my guys. Yeah, Marwan, dap. Everyone dap in the chat. Let's do it. Dap and leave a like so we can reach more people. Sounds good. Good stuff. Nice, it works. Okay, if you want to see the cinematic of this project, it's very fun. Go to the channel. I'm gonna post a link for you guys later. This is like what this is. I think this was my first virtual reality project. So this is where I first started 6 years ago. This was my first Unreal Engine project, and this is my first virtual reality project. And fun fact, I made this project without a VR headset, and I got a VR headset like 1 year later or something from another. Yeah, it's a fun story. You can tell later. And so I had the chance to try this project for VR like 1 year or even more after I did it for virtual reality. So it was very fun, and that's like very special project to me. Here's a link. Daps, hell yeah, good stuff. Good morning, Abdul Basit. All right, guys. So this is the project, and here in the link I just posted, you're gonna see the cinematic and VR walkthrough. So this is going to be fun because I'm gonna see how I used to work a few years ago and what could we fix today. And before we do anything, let's assume this is your project and you want to export this to Unreal as fast as possible. My process when I start any 3D Archviz project, I do the block out. So from yesterday's tutorial, you remember this apartment. There's only boxes here from this apartment, right? And like these boxes, they are supposed to represent these pictures I saw on Pinterest. So usually as fast as possible, nowadays, when I get like just the block out of the project, I export it to Unreal Engine because in Unreal Engine, I get a much better understanding of the project and I can really understand the space of the project. So like seeing the, let me hide these. Let me hide all the glass. Seeing the interior here, it's great. There are some furniture because that's gonna make a good example of exporting Datasmith. So the space here, for example, when we see it in 3ds Max and when we design it, I'm trying to press my Unreal Engine shortcuts to hide these. Yeah, the point I'm trying to make, like when you see your project in a real-time render engine, Unreal, Unity, anything you're using, and you could like walk like this with like a scale of a mannequin 1:1, you can really understand the project and the architectural plans as well as early as possible in the process. So I learned like there is a, yeah, so I learned from one of my projects the plans of that, like sometimes as 3D CG architects or architectural artists, Archviz artists, our job is not only to get the 3D model like an AutoCAD or Revit, but sometimes it is to model everything from existing plans. So I didn't study architecture. I learned architecture from my friends, and yeah, just by looking at plans and understanding the space in Unreal helped me as someone who loves architecture to be able to work on architectural projects with some very interesting architects and like people within this industry. And this is one of the things I love about Unreal Engine. So let's say I develop a passion now. I am developing a passion now actually for game development and filmmaking. And I got a project with a friend who is seeing my work. He's working on his virtual reality shooter game. And he wants me to do the cinematic. And like, wow, that's amazing because the cinematic is going to be on space and like good stuff. Space, yeah. So yeah, you may start learning Unreal Engine for architecture, but you can do so many other work on so many other interesting projects. So this project, let's send it now to Unreal Engine so we can understand the space. It would be better for all of us to see it in Unreal, right? So should we do it in Unreal Engine 4 or 5? What do you think, guys? Tell me in the chat. Because I have Unreal Engine 4 open, so that's gonna be easy. But if you want Unreal Engine 5, we can put it on the side. Heels. Project. Okay. Click OK. Stay hydrated. Is that the Simpsons house? Howdy, Stingy. How are you? How are you guys? Yeah, that's the Simpsons house. I'm gonna tell you the first mistake I did, which is exporting the project from the first place. Since we just noticed the project here, it has architectural elements and there are furniture. The first best practice you need to do is to export these two elements of the project separately. So we exported the project here in it's called project. When we import it in Unreal Engine, it's going to make a new folder called project and it's going to be our Datasmith scene actor. Nice, but that's not so descriptive, and it is the project. So if the customer would like to change the few things here, or just like really few things, like just say the walls and the some of the furniture, exporting this back to Unreal Engine, unless you isolate everything here, then find them in Unreal, delete the same exact meshes, and this can be confusing if you don't have proper naming. It's gonna be so painful. So I would recommend to make it easier to do this. Like you will, there is no way you can like not go to Unreal and like delete some stuff. This is inevitable. You get it. It's like it's gonna happen. So what we can do now then, find the layers here. So I would assume this is your project. This is old Yahya. I'm speaking now to 4 years. What? How old am I? To 25 years old, 24 something Yahya. So Yahya Habibi, do this. Make 2 layers now. One is furniture and one for architectural elements, and one later for accessories, for anything that is this size. From the concept big, medium, small. This is how I would export my projects, and this is how I would organize my projects. And I would like, this is also how I start my projects. Ya boy Jama, Jama, his last name, like his company is called Big Medium Small, and he is the person I learned this concept from. Jama Jorabev, like this guy, Jama, my man. Jama Jorabev. He have an interview with Blender Guru. It's amazing, a really amazing interview, and I still can't pronounce your last name, sorry. But the concept of big, medium, small really helped me as an artist to approach my projects and to finish my projects and to organize my projects. It can be applied everywhere. Think of it as like a philosophy, you know. So let's make a new layer. Let's call it 01, number 1, architecture. Another new layer, but make sure you deselect. And the beauty of this, you can apply it on any 3D tool you're using, or any, like anything. So not even like, not only Max, can be translated to Unreal, to Blender, to Cinema 4D, furniture, and another new layer. Oh my god. Oh, I have, huh, interesting. So I used to call it 01 furniture, and what is oh, cool. I already did this. I have something called house mass. Nice. Good job, Yahya. So there is no need for this. I have layer called furniture, so let's get rid of some of the layers here so to understand what's going on. So I have house mass, that's great. I have maybe environment. Let's click here. Exterior areas. Good job, Yahya. Click on 3ds Max, click, yeah, like when you have a big city, let's say, and trying to isolate the project, you click F in, like, you know, Z in Max. I have a box, SO. I don't know what does this means, but this box, I bet it's 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. Let's see. 100 centimeters. So this box, I used to put it on every new project just to make sure that the scene scale is correct, because every 1 centimeter in 3ds Max or any other tool, it's 1 unit in Unreal Engine. I'm gonna stop here, read the chat, and so we can continue. I think doing it this way we can like you know, divide it a little bit. Even what would be better, because I always do this on everything. Let's you know, 5 minutes for chat. Let's go. Stay hydrated. Let's chat. Water is so good. Stay hydrated, yes? Stingy. How are you, Stingy? Did you say I'm good? Vika, 5. UE4, UE4, UE4. Wow. Yes, alright. I got you guys. UE4. And okay, 2 for UE5. The rest is UE4. U yes, UE4. Abdel Basit, Sagar, Atta, Ghost Reborn. Isotechs. You got it, homie. Stingy. UE5. Always nice to learn future stuff. I completely agree. Maybe we talk about all of this and we talk about how we can make this project in Unreal 4. And once we like get to a good point in our stream today, we can export everything to Unreal 5 or just switch it to Unreal 5 and talk about Lumen a little bit. So let's do it this way. I was planning on doing some modeling and unwrapping, but I'm gonna put this as less priority. Maybe we can make a full stream just for 3D modeling and unwrapping. But yeah, number 1 point is Datasmith. We need to talk some ray tracing. I will do my best to like segment these streams so it would be at least easier for me or anyone who would like to help putting timestamps. It would be amazing. So for anyone who wants to come back in future and watch these videos, that would be nice. And my other plan is to like make segments and like, yeah, put them on the VR Division Academy website and good stuff. Go sign up. There are classes and an update on the master class, by the way, coming in the upcoming few days. If you want to support the channel, that would be great. And learn Unreal Engine, of course, in architecture and all that good stuff. So ray tracing is on the list. We're gonna cover the basics up like to the best of my GPU ability. And here we're gonna like soon 3070, we're gonna talk about, there will be so many ray tracing tutorials finally. Yeah. It makes me so happy. India. How many of you here, by the way, from India? Tell me, I love knowing my, like you guys, the viewers now, where are you watching from? So please do tell me. Yes, I'm gonna practice post stream some English words. This is one of them. But I like this future.
Inevitable.
Yeah. Can we hear it? Can you hear it, guys?
Inevitable.
There is one way to know.
Inevitable.
Yeah. I don't think you can. Oh, okay, because I think you can. Inevitable. It's funny. Do my best. Coffee. I don't know how to dance. I only dance in virtual reality. I can do it once I put my VR headset. Nice to meet you too, Renderly. How's your day going? Marwan, I got you UE5. So we got 1 minute for our chat, so we can continue Datasmith and all the good stuff. Do you have creating master materials in Unreal? We're gonna talk materials today. That's actually a good point. Because I want to test Megascans if it's going to work today. I updated Unreal Engine. It was not up to date yesterday. So maybe today Megascans would work and we can discuss master materials. Thank you. That's a good talking point. Master Matt. Dean. Mamman. Ghost. How can I export my project without ray tracing on? Because my PC lags when I turn on ray tracing. We're gonna talk about this just now. Good stuff. There is a console command. I got this question yesterday too. It's a good question. India, Sagar, Parnev, Jack, Uzbekistan, nice. Nice. Algeria, خيار الناس حبيبي وشراك سبا لباس. Good stuff. Syria, Marwan, Habibi. Kerala, India. Thanks. Good morning, Leon. It's good to see you. I saw your comment, man. I'm glad we discussed some of the Light leaks problems. Hopefully we can see more today and talk more about lighting. Okay, so timer now is finished. I'm gonna put like timestamp here so we know we are working now on Unreal Engine. So let's put another timer for work. Okay, so here for the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna focus to the best of my abilities on Unreal and teaching. And I don't know if it's, I enabled it this morning, but there is also super chat, by the way. If anyone can just confirm by, just so I know. And that's one way to fund everything we're doing. And to highlight your questions. Hey, classic problems. So let's get started. Let's get back to Unreal. Actually, before we do, Canada, Atta, nice, Philippines, Dean, India. So many people from India, that's nice. Good morning, my guys. There are 2 hours and a half between us, I believe. Good stuff. All right, ray tracing. We're gonna talk about it. Path tracing, there is an amazing tutorial by William Fauchet. It is the best. It's so good. Does IES need special settings? IES, as far as I know, does not work. It actually works now in 427. We're gonna try it today. Nice. With the GPU light mouse. It does not usually need any special settings. Let's go, let's do it. So, okay. Get out of here. Max. Thank you. Ooh, sockets. Good old days. Maybe if I remember how to use them exactly. By the way, this is post Datasmith. Oh. I exported this with the normal ways. Anyway, sockets. I wish I had the Unreal Engine project. There are so many projects are completely gone. Anyway, sockets, we used to put them like this. It used to called socket underscore, then the name of the mesh and then like the exact name, something. It can be a snapping point in Unreal Engine. So when you have doors and frames, you can like easily snap them to the socket. So maybe we can discuss this later once I know exactly how to use it because I completely forgot. All right, so I'm gonna unhide everything and here's what I'm going to do. First, big, medium, small, I'm going to export the environment. Next, I'm going to export the house. Third, all the furniture. So to do this, I'm gonna make here, house mass. I'm gonna make a layer here. And so here is, can we make a new layer? Yes. Rename. I'm just gonna call it real quick arch, just so we can be fast. So I'm gonna go to the layer house mass. Sometimes it's hard to see stuff. What? Here, I'm going to build this layer and I'm going to select all of these layers and just, we don't care what's inside, but we know this is the house, all right? But this is not enough. So I'm gonna take this, and this, everything that's not exterior, and put them here, house mass. So now if we hide this layer, nice, we only have the exterior. So I would press Alt E, my personal shortcut. I'm gonna call this environment. That's right, environment, hopefully yes. So let's click yes. The second thing I would like to do is to turn off environment or exterior and open this layer, press Z to zoom in and let me take a look at these. So here it seems the windows and the windows, there are so many windows here. So what I would like to do is have layer just for the windows. It seems here I already did that. Good job. 3 years old, 4 years old, younger Yahya. So I'm gonna make a new layer here. Actually, there is no need. I'm just gonna take the glass and frames, just unify them to make this easier to read. When you have so many layers like this that you cannot have control, this will just hurt your eyes. All of us artists, we like to work at night and evenings and stuff, especially you young ones, but please do take care of your health. Yeah. So make it easier for you to just to navigate in your files. That's my number one advice, because if you organize your project in a way that is easy to export and easy to isolate meshes, it would be so much easier to, when the customer, let's say, have a specific feedback on something in the project, it would be so much easier to isolate meshes or that part of the problem or the feedback work on it, then export it and replace any meshes when other than like when your project is just big mess and everything is so hard to control, right? So that should be your end goal. How can I organize my project in a way that it would be easy for me to export and to work on any feedback and be able to export it again easily? So yeah, try to write this question down. Sometimes it's useful to ask yourself this type of questions and like to like, yeah, spend 10 minutes trying to answer these, right? That's something I do always on when I approach something. I find it useful. Quick sneak peek at the chat. GPU light mass. Yes, once you bake the lights, it doesn't matter where you export it, so all is good. Back to nature. Darashti. It's good to see you, Darashti. I saw you yesterday, and I see some of your comments sometimes. All of you, by the way, but especially you. Nice. Let's go. What do we have? So we have windows. Nice. So sometimes I like to select a layer like this, isolate it, and export it, then hide it. Do that. Now isolate, like just untoggle the isolation. We have few strange meshes, elevator, and yeah. So what I'm going to call this, in this case, except for the box, good job on the box, Yahya, but delete it, you don't need it. Actually keep it, it's okay. Always make a box. And when you start the project anywhere, just make sure when you go to the unit setup in that software that it doesn't matter what display unit scale you use. Like you can use anything, but the important thing is the system unit setup. Every 1 unit equals 1 centimeters. Then make a box, and that box should be meter by meter by meter. So let's say I am in rush. I don't have time to organize everything, but what I'm going to do is to, there is no need actually, to export this and call it furniture underscore temp. So I would know later that I can later select this Datasmith scene actor and all these meshes and just replace them or replace parts of them, or like I can take care of it later in Unreal. But like let's say, yeah, there is this scenario, I am in rush and I want to see my project in Unreal Engine as fast as possible so I can understand what the hell is going on. Usually when I get this output warnings, my favorite thing to do is to get out of here. So in projects, this is my Unreal Engine project now. Let's say this is my, like for the sake of today's live stream, I'm not like making new projects, it's gonna take so much time. So even this is actually useful because in this scenario, I always have underscore projects. Let's give this guy a nice color. And let's try to keep colors consistent. So maybe, because I'm using so much yellow on the channel these days, I can mark this as my important folder. And here we can make a new project called Fair Hills. That's it. That's the name of the project. DT maps. Let's make a new map here. Call it Fair Hills. Sometimes it's better from the very beginning of the import process to make multiple maps for your project. We're gonna do this actually now. So Datasmith. Let's go to our, I always like, it becomes muscle memory where you click here in Windows. Like I always know wherever I am at or wherever this window is. If I want to export my Datasmith scene file, I would just click here, find just deity and make something here. That's it, as fast as possible. There is no need to guess and to make something on just the, that's the beauty of this folder. Love it. So Fair Hills. So I'm going to make one layer, one map only for this Datasmith file. So these I can select 1, 2, 3 at once, click open, go to my project, select the Datasmith folder, click OK. I don't want the materials, I only want the geometry. This is usually my first phase of a project. I only import the geometry so it can get imported as fast as possible. And yeah, I don't need to wait for compiling shaders and they're not gonna look right from the first time, etc, etc. So I like to see my project without materials. I like to whether the default material or I apply few colors and work on the lighting a little bit if possible. Well, of course I always work on the lighting a little bit because this is the phase where I also present the project to my customers, where I send work in progress screenshots. Because one of the good things you can do, where you can provide as to your customers generally is slightly more frequent feedback and work in progress images. Because if they have something to change in future, if nothing happens, they would at least remember that and tell you, hey, I found this mistake or that or whatever, you know. So it is always useful to send work in progress screenshots that look nice as early as possible in the project stage, so we can keep the communication going if there is any feedback. So yeah, there are scenarios like I had this one project that when COVID happened, the bird, whatever, yeah, it ended up badly because shit happens, you know. Yeah, but good things happen out of bad things. That is like, if I don't think if it was not for the failure of that project last year, a year and a half ago, this YouTube channel could take much longer to get started, but I don't know. But that's a story for another time. I'm so glad I got hit so hard with that project because I learned so much, like in so many ways. So good stuff. When I import my Datasmith scene actors, I don't even like to import lighting because I would like to see my project in daylight. And window, environment light mixer, 1 click, 2 click, 3 clicks, close. That's it, right? UV mapping, it seems it's already applied on the whole project. The next thing you would do when you import your stuff, I'm gonna just talk about lighting. Just by the way, a few days ago, if you're not with us on Discord, you see these sneaky ads. Got a question on someone that needs help with the directional light. Something you need to know when you create directional light, whether in Unreal Engine 4 or 5, when you click and drag the directional light from here, and the difference when you make it from the environment light mixer, when you click on create atmospheric light here. This is something I hope someone change. Let's just call them all directional lights or sun. Directional light, atmospheric light. Anyway, when you create the directional light from the environment light mixer, there is one option that is enabled by default in the environment light mixer, which is the atmosphere and cloud. So this. So if for any reason, when you add the directional light and skylight and sky atmosphere, and the sky is not working, just check atmosphere and cloud, atmosphere, sunlight, enable it. One easy way, two easy ways to find it. You can first obviously type here sunlight, and there it is. And the second advice is more useful if you don't know the name exactly. What I recommend doing is press shift, close all windows. Okay, so it would collapse everything. Let's say I don't know what I'm looking for, because as a beginner maybe you don't know what you're looking for, but if you read it, you might know it. And one easy way to find this is to close everything and opening them one by one, or just looking at the titles. And here we could, atmosphere and cloud. We don't have atmosphere. Wow. Right? That's the process of learning. Then the skylight, once we add, now we have our super nice atmospheric lovely sky and sun and all. Where's the skylight? It's unmovable. Well, we need to enable real-time capture. Boom. Oh, there we go. If you disable it, change the sun. I'm pressing Ctrl L, moving my mouse left and right, up and down to change the sun. There is still some weirdness going on because we need to enable it. This is new in 426, 425, and I love this feature. It means you can have day and night cycle. Oh, we finished 15 minutes. I'm gonna read the chat in 2 minutes, right? 1 minute actually. It's time for chat. But before I do that, let's type Windows. Oh, nice. It would be easier to have our exports like this. Actually, let's do one thing right before. So let's make meshes and let's make lights. Select, hold Control, select these guys and click and drag. Good stuff. Windows, what I like about importing multiple Datasmith scene actors is the ability in 3ds in Unreal Engine to sometimes disable them, but breh. So, okay, there's a duplicate of this, so that's why. No worries. Usually, if there was no duplicate, we would hide all the windows by just hiding that Datasmith scene actor. So I'm gonna fix this. Because this is the project. Breh. This is the like complete project, that's why. Well, I'm gonna show you how we can remove all of this and like clean up our projects always in there is a plugin I'm gonna mention, but that's after for our we read the chat real quick. Let me stay hydrated. All right. Wait. Okay. We can see everything. What's that sound? Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Canada. Yeah. Nice, nice. IES is a good stuff. So I think we stopped here. GPU light mass Sagar is workable with Oculus Quest. Yes. So like something to know about lights in Unreal Engine. Maybe light mobility is something we can discuss if we have time, or we can make leave a like if you want to see one full stream about light mobilities and what is the difference between static, movable, and stationary. All right. And I'm gonna discuss it if we have time today, like talk about this. But what you need to know about static lights in your Unreal Engine project, these guys, so when you add any type of light, it has 3 mobility types: static, stationary, movable. Static lights are fully baked and they cannot change in any way in runtime. So when we press play, these lights will stay like this forever. Of course, now we get this message because we need to press build light first, then we can be ready to bake our to export our project or play it. Stationary lights, on the other hand, they are partially baked and but they cannot move. So you can think of stationary lights just like static lights. The few main differences here are always described when you hover your mouse. They cannot move. They allows for partial baked lighting. So when we put a stationary light here and you bake the light, and I think you can change its color, but the global illumination baked lighting won't change, and you can also change its intensity. So when you switch a stationary light between any intensity, you won't have to bake the lights again. But we're gonna fact check this just now. Movable lights, fully dynamic. You don't bake them. They're just fully dynamic. They can change in any way in runtime. You can change their intensity, color, radius, all these settings. But during runtime for stationary lights, there is just the intensity and the color, and that won't affect the baked light. This is gonna make some weird artifacts. Usually we don't do that. I'm gonna show you now once we build the light. And they also cast shadows on movable objects. So also static lights, speaking of movable objects now, they do not interact in any way with movable objects. The only way they interact with, like, it's only when we bake the light and we have our volumetric light map, just like we saw in yesterday's stream. That's it. But stationary lights affect movable objects. They cast light, they cast shadows, all is good. So when you bake all your static lights, I know this is a very long answer, they have no further impact on your project anymore. So let's say you have 500 lights in whatever, I don't know what is the limit, I can't remember. If anyone knows, by the way, let me know how many lights can we put. Anyone knows? When you bake the light, all these frame drops will go away because these have no impact anymore on your project. So that's an answer. Let's also set a timer for answers and questions. You can during this now. Okay, let's do our stream this way. 15 minutes for me, where I talk about the projects and what we're doing, so we can focus. And 15 to 5 minutes, 10 minutes for you. Anyone have any question? It's time for it. All right. Darashti Barot, India. So many people from India from here. Philippines. That's so nice, guys. Jinil, it's good to see you. How is it going, Jinil? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I actually teach with Green Rain Studios in India. They are one of the Unreal Engine authorized training centers. Really amazing people. I like, thanks to Karan, the founder and the CEO, he guided me through my journey in getting authorized, and like it's like, you know, when you interact with people, with other teachers, with other educators, and we learn how to teach, that's one of my favorite things. So I'm so happy to see so many of you today from the sessions I taught earlier. I love you guys. Janelle, my man. Atta, have Datasmith limitation for export, mesh number, megabyte, gigabyte? I don't think there is limitation, but I won't recommend exporting massive files exactly for the reasons we're discussing today, to make it easy to work with your scenes. And to be honest, let me find that scene. There is a scene, for example, from Evermotion I was working on this PC few months ago when we first got Unreal Engine 5. But now I can, because we got the laptop. I had, so it's a complex scene. It has like, I don't know, there like, I think hundreds of lights and textures and meshes. And when I export that scene, it exports normally. When I import it, it always crashes Unreal Engine. So what I did is dividing the scene on multiple parts and export it on multiple parts. Everything exported except for the lights. Apparently, it seems that there were so many lights. So, you know, in Archviz, when you have a chandelier and like 100, 100, 500 lights, you know, in 3ds Max and like offline renderers, it does not matter how many lights you get. So yeah, it's not the same now in Unreal Engine. And I think there is also limitation to lights in path tracing. So let's just check. Path tracing UE4 lights. I think it was mentioned in the release notes or something. Stay hydrated. Are you staying hydrated? To learn about path tracing, let's recommend your boy William videos. I think all of you saw it, but if anyone didn't see this video on path tracing, it is the best to see. And I think, I'm not sure if, yeah, this one, wait. Where's the chat? Here's a like. I have many accounts, so William, I always like your videos. So because in terms of advanced modeling, we have really heavy files and scenes more than 2 GB without lights. it would export without any problem. Just when you are exporting, let's say, furniture for this whole house, in later stage I would export at least on three ways. No, not 3 ways, 3 steps. Step number 1 is ground floor, or like these 2 floors. Okay. And step number 2 is the upper furniture, or maybe divide all of this furniture of this apartment in three ways, or like what? Like this. Here I have furniture. It seems I did. I have first floor, second floor, basement, and it seems I have paintings. I don't know what I did. This is not supposed to be here in the furniture. Like, if I would give myself an advice for my younger Yahya 3 years ago, tell him, hey boy, should be in accessories, not furniture, because furniture are supposed to be the medium shape, medium sized objects, right? And if you get any problems with exporting, let me know. We can figure it out. And we would like, it's really accessible and really easy to give some feedback to Datasmith team in Epic Games. So if you have any feedback on Datasmith, leave it as a comment on this video once I make it like live, or you can, because I won't remember it if you leave it here. If you have any feedback you want to give directly to the team, you can leave it, and like, they are looking actively for feedback. And as you guys know, the live link for 3ds Max and other tools is coming very soon. So I think we already have it for SketchUp. Good times coming ahead. So is it possible to collapse all outliner folders? Yes, sir. When you press shift and anything you see in Unreal Engine with little arrow next to it, it can be collapsed. So if we open all these, so first let me uncollapse and open everything. If you hold shift and open a folder, it will uncollapse everything. It will just whoop like this. If you hold shift and close this, then there is no shift, click, everything looks good. And the same on the word outliner, and the same in the details tab, and it's the same all in every, like, any UI you see. Like, this can hopefully work everywhere. So hold shift to close, to open. It's very useful. Leon, do you have any tips for the word outliner? Once I import my project, I often see myself scrolling up all the time to close the hierarchy, to get the lights, post-process volumes. That's so true, and it keeps happening to me all the time. The number one advice is, like, whenever you see your word outliner looks like this, don't freak out, but just let's go to the tab, hold shift, close everything, then open this again without holding shift. And whatever we see here, even if there's still thousands of files, I would start with making one new folder. Okay, where's my folder? For some reason, okay, I don't know why this happened, but this is good, because if this happens, we can, I think, just click here and then make a new folder, right? So if you make new folders and they don't appear, don't freak out. It seems that's why. When I make a new folder, I would just at least start by taking everything, even like I would just move them out of this folder here. When we open this, let's all agree it would be nicer if we only see folders. Okay? Even if everything at the first moment when you start organizing your project, when it has 100,000 actors, let them all be in one folder. And then you would make another folder for, let's say, the most common or most existing type of actors, whether it's static meshes. So you would make folder called then static meshes. So organize on groups, lights, static meshes, and so on, cameras, texts, notes, everything. And then you would go to the static meshes, let's say, and we have one big environment, we have a house, we have whatever, and so on. You would make folders for these. It's time consuming usually, but it's always worth it. This step is, when you do this kind of stuff, like you have organized outliner, organized folder structure, organized layers, and they are all kind of similar, streamline this. It just makes your life easier. and you would finish project faster. You would finish projects faster, and yeah, it would just like the import export process, and you would be able, like the goal I would say of any business is to systemize stuff, to have a pipeline, to have like a process, you know? So you can always discover where are the bottlenecks, what's slowing us down, how can we be better, how can we be more efficient, you know, if there is so much competition, like, you know, all these reasons to think about. And you know, I said it like 6 times. Every time, you know, this morning, guys, bring tequila, and that's not a good game. You know, it's weekend. Yeah, it's weekend, right? Oh, Saturday. How's your weekend going, by the way? Sometimes I forget what day it is. So I hope this is useful, Leon. And if you need anything else, just let me know. Here's the chat, my guys. Sean, good morning, Yahya. Morning to you too, my man. When I export from 3ds Max and import the file with materials, the color textures, it seems like desaturation or there is wrong in gamma. How to correct that? Or making the materials in Unreal more correct. What can we do for that? I got similar questions yesterday on how like working with textures. Usually most of the pain happens when like there is when you have in your 3ds Max project so many nodes, and the conversion between these nodes, some of them can be converted easily and some of them you would have sometimes inverted values, and this can most of the time happens on roughness and metallic maps, specular maps, glossiness, because of like these things, you know, in Max we use glossiness, but in Unreal because it's PPR we use roughness, and so on. To be honest, like I wanted to prepare like full stream for this on how Datasmith works with materials and textures. So I would take a note on this, and it's like because it is getting requested. Today's stream I'm gonna try to keep it on how Datasmith works with meshes, but Sean, that's a great question. Hopefully either tomorrow's stream or Monday's stream, like I'm gonna make this as like very soon, because yeah, trying to make this useful for anyone who's trying to get with Unreal Engine for architecture and like the best practices and the things we know. So 100% this is coming. Let me take a note. Good stuff. Keep your questions going, guys. Tell me what's what's the problem you're trying to solve? What makes you angry? What makes you angry in Unreal Engine? Or the whole workflow? So, Datasmith, shut up 3ds Max. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't care. Actually, I care because I'm organizing my project. So, because I care, I'm sorry 3ds Max, don't crash. Save me, please. Can you save, bro? Yeah, good guy. Good guy, Max. Good guy. Thank you. So, Datasmith materials. There is an image I tried to find yesterday. Let me try to find it again. I could not. But Datasmith, 3ds Max, Unreal materials. It's like really useful image. It shows you how the maps like what is albedo, what is bump, what is glossiness, and how they get converted. So it is like very useful guide to understand what's happening when you export your V-Ray or Corona or any render engine materials from any tool to Unreal Engine. What is happening? I'm not sure if I'm gonna find it, but if I'm not mistaken, could it be here? So online learning Unreal Engine. Let's find out. until I do the stream, like if you want to figure out, to understand more, I think there are some nice courses on Datasmith on Unreal Engine Learning Portal, and like how to get started for Archviz for beginners. But let's see, there is, I remember watching tutorials when I was learning Unreal to get authorized. I watched all my stuff from here, from YouTube and whatnot. If anyone wants to get authorized, by the way, as I don't know if you guys know, but I recently got authorized as Unreal Engine instructor, and I forgot the title, whatever. Anyway, this is a great place to start. It's like 19 hours or something. Like it's full learning path. And if anyone of thinking of getting authorized, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. That's actually one of my goals of VR Division Academy. If you want to be teaching Unreal Engine, that's something you like teaching, let me know. Join us on Discord too. So for the materials with Datasmith, let me find that after the stream. And if you are with us on Discord, bro, Sean, tag me, so I would send you that image today, okay? Good stuff. Abut Wolf, bro. Salam, brother. How are you, man? Venice. Hello, hello. What's up? Back to nature. Please give the link to download the GPU Lightmas. So, if you're using Unreal Engine 427, you can enable the GPU Lightmas. And by the way, let's talk some ray tracing and GPU Lightmas. If you want to enable GPU Lightmas, you need to enable ray tracing. I said this in yesterday's stream, but now to say it quick, go to Edit, Plugins, and search for ray tracing. Sorry, GPU Lightmas. Enable this, and then go to your project settings, enable ray tracing, and change the default RHI. So wait, ray tracing, enable it, then search for default RHI, change this. Sorry. When you type default RHI in the platforms windows, change from default to DirectX 12, restart your Unreal Engine, and you will have the GPU Lightmas enabled. If you want the link, I don't know, I don't have it now, so maybe someone in the chat, if you have the link for the Lushuang GPU Lightmas, you can post it, or Back to Nature. Taha, good morning, everyone, good morning. So it's morning and afternoon for most of you, right? Or anyone is like late at night now. What's up? Al Tharva, hello bro. Hello to you too. What's up? So how you earn from YouTube? I don't make like from YouTube ads, that's mainly. So like to make money from YouTube, is that your question? Or how do I earn from YouTube? Because the main reason I made YouTube is to let people know, hey, I am an expert. I'm an expert in Unreal Engine. I have tutorials. I teach master classes. I teach live classes. So if you like my YouTube content and you want to learn more, get in touch with me or get my Gumroad masterclass. But we changed from Gumroad to the Academy. We're still working on this stuff. So basically, that's one of the ways you can earn money from YouTube. There is also YouTube ads. There's super chat. There's like so many ways. So like the tip I would give from this, if you want to make your life easy in dealing with customers, like actually one of the reasons I also wanted to start YouTube, because I didn't think it would lead to making tutorials in the first place, was to let my customers or my potential customers know, because I started YouTube when the pandemic happened, like, hey, I am an expert in my field. I know Unreal Engine. Look at my projects. So if anyone thinking of starting YouTube, you can update short tutorials, you can update cool stuff, and you can upload your projects. So I didn't start YouTube like it's just last year, but 6 years ago I uploaded one video, and because this video is seen by the right people, it Unreal Engine saw it, Nvidia and whatnot, like so many people saw it. It went, people shared it, people liked it. And I just started getting projects, right? And that changed my life. from Syrian in Algeria, broke as fuck, to someone who is doing what he loves every day. So, and that's my goal to all of you, anyone who is willing or wants to do what they love, especially if it's around Unreal Engine every day. That is the goal of this stream, of this channel, of VR Development Academy, and everything we're doing. So that's the answer to your question, my man, Althara. So I would suggest start learning Unreal Engine, start sharing your cinematic videos on YouTube and on Artstation. So start your Artstation portfolio as well. That is super important. I see so many artists neglecting the portfolio. There is nothing more important than your Artstation portfolio or your Behance portfolio. And if you want to spice it up to make it like, oh, this is the guy I'm gonna work with, or the girl, oh, I'm gonna work with, because they do not only show their work, they also seem to know what the hell they're doing in Unreal Engine, right? Or their tools. So that's one. Number two, and these tips I learned from so many books. I mentioned the same book yesterday. It's called One Page Marketing Plan. This book, I recommend if you like looking to improve your life in like your business, your career, your as a freelancer, as like, yeah, if you want to make money, this is the book, right? And yeah, so we spoke Artstation. If you want to spice it up, you want your customers to be familiar with you before they buy you. They need, like, there is this book as well. Wait. Never Split the Difference. It's a very good book on negotiations and like how if someone does not like you, they will not buy from you. If they don't feel comfortable talking or working with you, they will not buy from you in all life walks, in every business, in everything, right? So if you have a good personality or not, you can like work on it and like make YouTube videos and whatever. When people see you on YouTube, they like a potential customer, let's say for this project or this project, they would feel comfortable working with you. They would know you before you know them. So when they reach out, you reach out, it would be smooth. It won't be like, I'm gonna make you work for as cheap as possible and take the most out of you, because like you know how it is, right? So that to differentiate yourself from other artists, or like if you want to advance faster, your portfolio and making video content or blog posts or podcast or anything, or write a book. I am writing a book, but it might take 1 year, 2 years. But yeah, find ways to position yourself as an expert and someone who knows what he is doing, and someone who is 100% is going to help this customer solve their problem, because ultimately, like, that is the goal, right? So like mentally, I prepare myself when I meet new customer, like whatever the hell this guy's problem is, I'm going to help him solve it, right? And that's the mindset I try to get into the meeting with the customer, especially on the more recent projects 2 years ago, that I get into the meeting and like I was Syrian who had no money at all, you know, like did this project because I was so fucking mad. Here's a story. This is a project. I was desperate for a job in 6-7 years ago when I was in Algeria. Like there were days I was hungry, no money to eat, right? And I got an opportunity to work on a project, and they made me work for free. Is it here? Yeah. I worked with my ex-girlfriend. She is the architect. She is the one who taught me how to understand and read plans. You know, told you I'm not the architect background. Anyway, spent like 15 days. We came up with the design of this facade, and like our job was to come up with the design of the facade and like present it in a nice way. And I did the visualization. I'm not the designer back then. She have done all the job. Such a great job she did. And we sent them this, and they ghosted us. And I was angry. And Unreal Engine became free. And I was like, before Unreal Engine became free, I was seeing videos from UE for Arch, and Unreal Paris apartment. I saw these like 7 months earlier than the Unreal Engine became free, and I was like desperate to try Unreal Engine. It was $20 a month, right? And then like yeah, this is not the only project I never got paid to. There are so many. I learned so much. I got so much beaten, but it's all good. It's part of the process, right? So I made this apartment in Izmir. The visualization, I took one of the apartments. I think it was one of these apartments. I took the plans of that apartment and I learned Unreal Engine first. When it became free, like this video, not free assets. If you love something, set it free. That's like Epic is on a mission. That's something I can tell you. Because if they did this positive impact to me with making Unreal Engine free, well, I'm 100% they've done it to thousands and hopefully millions and like whatnot to others, you know. So this is one of the best videos I ever saw in my life. UE for free. If you didn't see it, guys, this video, I'm sure it changed the lives of so many people. That's the story, by the way. That's how I got into real time, because I saw Unreal Paris and UE for artwork and whatnot, and like they inspired me because I was learning 3D, and if you look at this, it's just static render and there's like nothing. And like, what if you could you could make a cinematic without waiting? Oh, and what if you could walk in this apartment and here I was changing the normal map intensity. And yeah, as an artist, let's say, who also I like dabbled around with programming when I was a young kid, but I am not a programmer. And it is funny, but when I was programmer or learning programming, I was learning like visual script, these very basic languages. I did something to delete all my files 15, 20 years ago. I don't know, I was such a kid, and I got angry and I stopped. And I got into art. So people saw this, Unreal saw this, and Unreal Engine, they always share projects of others. So this should motivate you to create, to share, tag them, like put on Artstation. And especially like, yeah, now it is not the same like 6 years ago, but it's still relevant. Show your work. Still like an artist, what is it? Austin Killen? Yeah, Austin Killen, still like an artist then. So read this. By the same author, read this. Show your work. Okay, guys? Sorry, this took so much longer than it should, but again, this is what I'm trying to achieve. Like, ultimately, we're learning Unreal Engine to do something with it, right? Okay, let's read the chat, then get to Unreal to Datasmith again. Anyone have any questions? I hope this answers you for the next 5 years, my man. Make the, like, I've done all of this now in 6 years. Took me long enough. You can do it in so much shorter, and I'm here to help you do that. So get started, guys. Make your project, and like whatever problems you are solving now with Datasmith, import, export, we are trying to solve them with these streams, later materials, lighting, cinematics, blueprint, all that good stuff. Leon, awesome, thanks. It would be nice if there is a hotkey, fold all folders in Outliner. Oh yeah. Oh, Nauras, good morning. Nauras today invited me to eat mlukhia. I can't wait to see you, bro. Mr. Outwalk, I will look at one. Hopefully there would be, but that would be a very nice shortcut. But I think there is no command for this. If you found one, Leon, let me know. That would be nice. Mr. Outwalk, thank you, bro. I really appreciate all of you guys for being here today. Infinity Rush, hi, my man. Fast Tech, assalamu alaikum, you too, my brother. Fast Tech, it's good to see you. Drashti, I like online learning exam. Thank you, Back to Nature. Cheers. Sean, cheers. Thank you, Athara. Sagar, can you please share some knowledge on how today and wait, can you share some knowledge how to do a day to night conversion via ray tracing? Yes, we can do this next after I finish. And I can show you how to do it in sequencer, then I control that with blueprint. So that would be next. Fastek Mursalan from Pakistan. Please share. I can't share my WhatsApp number here, but I can share my email. So anyone, if you have an inquiry, it's yahiya@vrdivision.com. Okay? If you have any question, need any help, this is my email, and I can share with you this. So all of you guys watching now, later, this is my Calendly link. I'm gonna try to make some make more spots available if needed to, but you can schedule a 20 minutes call with me if you need help in anything, you have a question, need mentorship, need advice, anyone, you can do it. I just want to let you know, I am accessible. You're few clicks away. Okay. If you need help with Unreal Engine or anything related to the industry, I'm here. This channel is for this stuff. So, seems all is going well, my guys. I'm gonna try to go faster. Sorry if I skip anything. You can always ask. And if you have a question, please do type like this, question, and then type your question so I won't skip it. There is a chance I might skip stuff because there is so we can't continue. Love you too, bro. Haraj, hello. Alright, guys. Atta. Arch Interiors Vol 1 ready scenes, Corona, advanced. I will use something from Overmotion for future tutorials, so we would have at least a look at some real projects. And yeah, this is a real project, but my different, since I learned Unreal Engine, since I did this project I showed you earlier, Apartment in Izmir, I stopped using V-Ray and Corona because I knew if I focus more on learning Unreal and being able to build my library and my ecosystem around Unreal, I would finish my stuff so much faster. So I would advise this to every one of you too, okay? And still, upcoming tutorials, we are going to talk about more complex scenes, completely finished scene in V-Ray, in Corona, or in any other tool to Unreal. And you can help me if you have no problem showing your scene on stream to others to learn from it too. You can send me your question with your scene. I would open your scene here and we can do a live feedback on things you could do better or things to avoid or why this problem is happening. So yeah. Thank you guys. Guatham. Thank you. All right. I got you. Atta. I got you. Roger. Wow, Florida. I hope you're having great evening, Roger. Thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate it. Liam. All right, buddy. I see you soon. Cheers. Mustafa. How's your evening going, Roger? Are you still here or you went to sleep now? How is it going? Mustafa, can we have a channel renders in Unreal Engine? You know, like render ID channels. That's possible, and that is something I would cover in future live streams. So I'm going to take notes on this, like one of the important requests, because I always get this question too, but I never wrote it. I saw a few comments on the channel a few days ago about this, to separate render elements and, you know, for filmmakers. Like, I understand, I got you. Render IDs. But if I'm trying to think of any good tutorial I know about this, because I never use, the last time I used this feature 3-4 years ago, and it was not in any way as easy as it is now. But if you want to get started, I would recommend searching for the console commands or the options we have in the movie render queue. So just search for some movie render queues and ways to export from Unreal, especially this guy and the sequencer, of course. But movie render queue, we add console commands and whatnot. And if this guy is not enabled, it's because it is a plugin we need to enable. So when we go to edit plugins, we search for movie render queue, we enable it to restart your engine. But I think if you start from an AEC template, it's enabled by default. So like the lead to your question starts from here. And for future sessions, I will do my research and be ready to make tutorials on these. All right, Mustafa? It's going great, Fahim. Thank you. How is it going with you as well? Raouf, مرحبا حبيبي. مرحبا أبي. Sen Turkmason? No, I'm from Syria, brother. Nasılsın? İyi. I know a little Turkish. Az. Fahim. Assalamu alaikum, Fahim. Good to see you guys. Good morning. Hello to all of you. Roger. Good, good. I'm glad to hear that, Roger. Good stuff. Okay, now we will go back to Unreal Engine to continue our thingy. We're gonna talk now about making night-day cycle, like the simple way. And if you still have any questions, we can cover it more in Unreal. But like, it's easy as this. So, Sebast, I don't even try Unreal Engine. When I try Unreal Engine, it's so magical. It's magic. Let's go. So I will set timer for me here, and let's talk about Unreal here. So I'm gonna select. So here's a quick tip. If you want to select a similar mesh or actor type and delete or move or do whatever, press Control, select that actor, then press Control Shift A. In this case, because we selected a point light, when you press Control Shift A, it will select all point lights. And the same can be said when you select a static mesh. So when you select one static mesh and press Ctrl Shift A, it will select all static meshes in your project. And the same on everything else. So that option you can find when you right click any actor and go to edit, select. This is here, select all. It's usually it's context sensitive. So select all based on what you have selected now. Muhammad Kuvet, merhaba. Turkish'ine bu beğendim. Sorry. My Turkish is so bad, which is funny. Octavio, it's good to see you, Octavio. Hello from Panama. Nice, we have people from everywhere. BC. BC. Oh, is this a command? Can we add commands to YouTube like for this? I think we can, right? Well, it's a GTX 1080 Ti, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and Ryzen 1800X. Greetings from Canada. It's good to see you. Peculiarly, I'm bad in all languages except for Arabic Habibi. Even Arabic I'm bad. Peculiar entity. Sorry, man. I'm trying. Nice to meet you too, Raouf. It's good to see you guys. Let's continue. Let's say you want to make very, very simple day-night cycle. Like, this is not the best way to do. There are so many ways to actually wait. That's what's beautiful about Unreal or like our industry in general. There are so many ways to approach things and to solve problems and do things. So this is my current project, Fair Hills. I'm going to right click here, make folder, cinematics or sequencer. It's up to you. Usually I like to call it cinematics. And I'm gonna right click, go to animation and make a level sequence. But that's me. What is easier if you just go here and make a level sequence instead of right click, and you can set it anywhere. So again, so many ways to do everything. Level sequence, I'm just gonna call it day, night, double click. I'm going to go on track, add actor to sequencer, and search for my sun, directional light. Add it. Now we have 30 frames per second and 150 frames, so that is 5 seconds. If we select the light and we go through the option we have here, basically there is nothing about the transform. You can think of a sequencer as a tool. You can add actors in it and control almost any value from here, from any actor. Wow. Through time, of course. The way to do that, then, how do we add more tracks? So here are our tracks, these guys. If we go on these plus buttons, you will find tracks. So now because we're looking something around transform, I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but it moves stuff. So yeah, transform. We find it, click it. It is that simple. Now rotation, we have roll, pitch, yeah. I don't XYZ. So the easiest way to know always, like I always get confused on which one I need to rotate in order to get the day-night cycle. So I would just select one of these guys, and usually the roll does nothing, which is the X. So Y and Z, these options here. So yeah, I'm gonna save it for now. It's always the pitch, yeah. And the left and right is always the yaw. It's okay. So we want to start from night, okay? Click toggle, click on this button to add a keyframe. Let's move it 5 seconds. Actually, let's move it for now 5 seconds. And I don't like to work like this. I don't like to click on the playhead and drag it around. I like to click on the corner of my 3D viewport and enable, click on perspective here and enable cinematic viewport. Why? Because we get more buttons here. Some of these buttons are these numbers, and these numbers will help you determine the beginning of your timeline, the end of the timeline, and the current location of the playhead. And you can select and drag, or you can enter a number. So that's 150. And here we would change the yaw. Let's change it like this. And I have, because if you change it from here, an auto keyframe is going to be added automatically. A keyframe will be added automatically. But if we select the sun and select the frame 150 and change it from here, well, wait. Can we please? Okay, because we need to type a minus or actually go crazy. Yeah, like this. That's too much. There would a keyframe won't be added here. And the same, like if we just move this, it's going to snap back to this keyframe. Also, if we change it from here, nothing is going to happen unless we activate add a keyframe when something happens, which is like key and like frame like this. Now if we change, move this value, it's going to add a keyframe for us automatically. If you don't want to move this or snap it, now I have snapping is enabled by default. If you don't want to move like this keyframe, maybe you want the frame 128, maybe. You can right click that keyframe and set key time and type the number you want. So again, there are so many ways to do so many things. Now, if we select here, anywhere here, doesn't really matter, and click play, it's a day-night cycle. Not day-night cycle, but you get the idea. So if you want to make it longer, we can just, let's go back. Where is the sun? And let's select the value here, move it to 240. Okay, and this guy, if you don't want to set it from here, you can go actually to properties and set the time and the value as well, and the interpolation mode and whatnot. So 240. And I don't want this to start wherever it is, so I just want to change the value to somewhere here. I'm going to select one of my static meshes and press F to know where I am, because it's kind of tricky. And now if you press F11 and click play, well, the rotation needs to be better than this, but basically, yes. Let's say this is our day-night cycle, but let's see. So here it went from minus, this happens, right? So I don't want it to go from 180. So let's make our life easier. I'm gonna set this on 0, okay? And here I'm just gonna set what? 180. That should be easy, right? Am I doing something wrong? Let's do it minus 80. Ah, yeah, okay, my bad. From 0 to minus 180. And let's say this, like this thingy, I'm gonna, if we close the sequencer, everything will snap back to normal, right? Now, when we press play, we want this for this to happen. Now, this is, again, there are so many ways to achieve all types of stuff. But for now, let's say, hey, I'm just gonna open the level blueprint. I want something very fast, or yeah, I'm gonna, like, for example, I'm gonna press F in the chat, like yesterday's stream. Try to fix the camera, but the stream broke. I'm gonna click and drag the level sequence to my level, and so I can make a reference to it, to the level blueprint. So now, while this selected, I can right click, create a reference to day night. And now from reference day night, I can search for something. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I can try. So let's type play. And let's see what options we have. So sequencer, that's kind of helpful. Like, why I'm doing this? Make sure context sensitive is enabled. If you don't know what is the option you're looking for in blueprint, it's okay. Just make this enabled and try different keywords. Okay, so let's try play animation. There is nothing. Anim. Where if there is animation? Okay. Sequence. So let's try type sequence. And here, okay, sequence or sequencer. Player bindings. Get set. Ah, okay, we found it. Easy peasy, right? That's the process of learning blueprint. So there is pause, play, scrub, and so on. So let's click on play. It will make another reference for it or something. Okay, let's hold F. And let's print string. Let's type sun. Is that you? Just so we know when we press F. Okay, so now when we press F, the sun is moving. Maybe you want endless cycle. Like, this is not the best way to do it. This is just for cinematic effects. There is like more advanced blueprint things, so you can get the exact time by day, second stuff. Maybe that's for something in future. However, if you want to control the sun with a UI element, there is the Archviz Explorer, and there is a very simple tutorial I didn't upload. I recorded 6 months ago. I'm gonna upload today on the Academy, or maybe here on YouTube. It's how to add the sun and how to control, like, which month, the latitude and longitude with Unreal, with Blueprint. But very easy stuff. So next question. Next question. BC. Hello, EU. What's up? Floyd. Watching and getting inspired. Cheers, my man. A South African living in Sweden. Nice. How do you get how do you get the frame rate to show? Good question. If you click here, there is the option show FPS and show stats, and here are the shortcuts. And there are some console commands as well. If you want to learn about the frame per second and optimization and like some really cool stuff on profiling, I think these series of videos are timeless. So there is Tech Art Aid, the name of the channel. There are some videos here on GPU pipeline, bottlenecks, profiler, and there is the measuring performance. So FPS, the question you just asked showing the FPS, is about measuring performance. So in these tutorials, you learn everything you need on this stuff, and you would really have good understanding on what is causing your project to dip in the frames and whatnot. So yeah, I recommend these videos here. Tech Art Aid. I hope you found this stuff useful, my guys. Floyd, yes. I hope you find this useful, Floyd. Nova, what's up? Can you add a rocket launching station on the first floor? Let's see, where can we add it? If I want to build a rocket silo, I would build it in the front yard here. It would look perfect. Hey, mom, I'm going to Mars. Okay, don't be late. Ghost. I need water. How did you get these lens flares, Yahya? Those looks awesome. Actually, these are by default in Unreal, and usually the first thing I usually do is to turn them off because they make it hard to work with your project. But since you brought this up, and since we're talking about sequencers, and since I'm showing you this project, which is for anyone who is new here, it's one of my it's my first VR project. I really recommend you do watch it. The way I find beautiful shots for my projects, like for any cinematic you're going to see on the channel, like Nike or like other Archviz projects, these guys, like this one for example, the way I find shots that I can animate is by moving around and find something interesting. So let's say like, yeah, this could be a nice shot somehow, some way. You could make it work, right? If you're like, I don't know, especially if you can work a little more on this guy. So let's add post-process volume. Let's go to, not bloom. So if you want to control the lens flares, disable them or control like anything about the lens flares. Where is my post? Is the post-process volume. So to keep things organized, sequencers, and the post-process volume can go to the lights and sequencers here. And to avoid having so many folders later, what I like to do is the following. So I would type, for example, because the lights are my global lights of the project, so I can select lights sequencers and add them here. And for example, later when I make cameras, let's make one now. So let's go to content browser. I'm gonna select this, press Ctrl W and make like, call it shot 1. I will delete the directional light. I will keep it, but I'm gonna stop the animation so I can find the shot I like. And using sequencer, by the way, here's the shot 2. Using sequencer to find or to change lighting or to change your scene state or cameras or stuff is great way to do it. Especially if you have like shots at night, shot at day, soon, like not soon now with Lumen, we have global illumination in real time and all good stuff. So sequencer is the way. Let's say shot 1. I want to add a camera here, so I will go to place actors cinematic. I would hold Ctrl, select the camera and drag it. It will add automatically for me in the sequencer. If you don't hold Ctrl, it will just get added to the word outliner. Then you can click and drag, or you can click here and find it here. So Ctrl will, save you few precious seconds. So yeah, I would try find a shot with a nice lens flare or like this. So place where, wait. I usually like for shots with lens flare. Let me show you a fun example. Try to like appear and disappear lens flare in my cinematic shots. A good example is a video I did as an advertisement for the master class when we first started last year. Wait. So here, no, wait. No, not this one. It's like nice example. Yes, this one. Hey guys, it's your boy Yahya. Wait. Hey guys, it's your
boy Yahya here. Today I wanna talk to you about our Unreal Engine Masterclass and why you should get it.
Look here. Right? So I tried to find this type of angles. And the lens flare effect would look so cool, right? So yeah, good question, my man. To control it, we were talking in the post-process volume. Let's collapse everything. Let's go to maybe lens. Of course it is lens. And here we can find lens flares. And let's say this is, so just make this larger and let's get out of the camera. Well, maybe because of the light. So let's, aywa. These guys, you can, for example, the bokeh size, you can increase it. I like to put it on 15 or 10. But nothing is happening because we need to make our post-process volume global. So in the search detail, we can type infinite, and it will show us the only option that has infinite in it, which is infinite extend and bound. You can search for any of these words, enable it, and there we go. So sometimes a good option for the lens bokeh size could be 10, because it's 3 by default, and I don't like these pixels. You can of course change the shape to whatever you want. We can cover this as like one live stream for the post process because it's so deep. But here's a tip: you can get so many cool effects with changing these or animating these in the sequencer. You can do that as well. All is good, all is cool. So nice. Press Ctrl L. I love it. So cool, right? Let's open the chat again. Those lens flare are some... Yes, you're right, Fahim. You're 100% correct. They are enabled by default always. So, Alex, this is Unreal Engine 427, the latest version. And speaking of Unreal Engine... Hey, Adam, hello. Speaking of Unreal Engine 427, yesterday we had a problem, so we can try to solve it while we answer these questions. So I will quickly delete the... let's see if this is going to work, because it seems yesterday I had old version of 427, but this morning I updated it. So now I think it's 427.1, right? That's weird, but there were update button here. I clicked it and it updated. So it's still 427. And let's go to delete the mega scans plugin. So we can go to export settings and we can install this again. Yeah, this does not matter. Click install 427, and here's our folder. Now it's installed. Let's see if Unreal Engine is going to work or not. So our project, please work. I think it worked. Yes, it seems it worked because yesterday we didn't have this. So the fix to that problem is just update Unreal Engine, it seems. Hopefully it worked. Let's see. Pleasure over matter. Hey, oh yeah, it worked. Nice. So we can have some mega scan stuff later. Good stuff. All right. So will it be exterior? It can be anything. If you have any question on anything, let me know. Now we are doing exterior. There is also like interior, and no worries. We can do anything. Alex, what's up? So what's the difference from stock UE4 project and Archviz project? I've never really played with Archviz. That's a very, very good question, Alex. Give me a second. I stay hydrated. Short, long answer. The first noticeable difference you would see when you import the exact same project is that Archviz projects have some sharpness filters applied in the console command on the project startup. So you can see that this is extremely sharp. I got a question about ray tracing earlier and how to disable it. I'm gonna show you now in a moment. I just remembered. When we have an Unreal Engine project, So where is my project here? I don't know where is my project. Here is the tip. I can right click any asset and click on show in Explorer. So the AEC, like all Unreal Engine projects from the template, you can say they are the same, but the config file or folder here, it's what's basically different. So in the default editor here, we have many of these, not these, this is way too much. Wait, default. There we go. Not sorry, the default engine, the sharpness. So the console command r.toneMapper. I just remembered the ray tracing because we were gonna talk about console commands. So whoever just reminded me, Alex, thank you so much. Okay, so r.toneMapper.sharpen2. This is the option we have now. In Unreal Engine default template for the games, usually, for example, this option, so I'm gonna type r.toneMapper sharpen space, I'm gonna set it 0. You see, it's blurry, or not blurry, but it's like there is no sharpen filter applied. So usually in Archviz projects, for example, I don't know why I say for example so much, but in Archviz projects, they always look cooler when you apply some sharpen. So that is one of the so wait, r.sharpen. Oh, when you type r.sharpen, it found it for me. Is it? Yeah, automatically. I'm gonna set it to 4. Is there 4? Can we do it? Yeah, that's way too much. Quick tip, when you use the console command a lot, when you type tilde to open the console command without typing r.sharpen so many times, if you just press up on the keyboard, it will open your latest commands. So now let's set this back to 2. It didn't work, did it? I think 2 is the top option. So let's check with 0 again. Yeah. So I don't think 4 is working because 4 and 2 are the exact same. I think 2 is the top. So is it 3? So we have 1 and we have 2, I think is the maximum. So all of these other commands are enabled, and there are also some plugins and scripts enabled. Are they here or on the editor? Like Datasmith and the HDRI backdrop, sun and sky, and so many other options that would make your life easier in Archviz are enabled by default in the AEC template. So I really recommend when you start your Archviz projects that you start from the AEC template. Alex, that's a great question. On ray tracing, when you start with AEC template, and if you enable ray tracing because you don't want to enable it later, because in all cases you needed to build lighting with the GPU light mask, let's open another scene where we can see really what's going on. So you would get this very weird splotches everywhere, and it is actually recommended when we build light with the GPU light mask that we disable ray tracing features, right? So now ray tracing features in this project and that project, they were enabled. Well, we only want ray tracing, let's say, to build a GPU light mask or to have faster performance. To disable these, the console command for this, so when we press tilde to open the console command, is r dot ray tracing, okay, another dot, then press F for goodbye ray tracing, F force all ray tracing features effects, and set this option to 0. So it's either 1 or 0. So 0, there are no ray tracing effects anymore. So I think it was you, Ghost. I hope you found this useful and it will solve your problem with disabling ray tracing, my man. Yeah. Let's continue questions. Hey, Ahmad, how are you? Hello, brother. Thank you. I'm glad you found them helpful. We're gonna wrap up the stream soon, by the way, in the upcoming 15 minutes. I think it's been 1 hour. Wow. Morphe? No problem, but like 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer because I got so much to do. Sagar, how can I do this day tonight in baked? See, no, it's not possible. you need to switch light scenarios. In VR projects, we used to switch between maps, or like there are multiple ways to achieve this. I wanted to show you the technique they used in making mirror's edge. They found a way, or they programmed a way to switch light maps during the day and like mix. It was so good. That was the only case scenario I heard where they make day-night scenario with baked lighting. Unfortunately, their method cannot, as far as I know, is not achievable in Unreal Engine. But if you want to learn about lighting and the good old days from the OGs on a game like Mirror's Edge Catalyst, I really recommend this little GTC talk. So GTC Mirror's. There are two talks I actually recommend on Mirror's Edge Catalyst. One from the art director of the game, and the other is from the lighting artist, but I can't see. Is it GTC, Game Developer Conference? Yeah, it was. So, lighting and art direction. As someone, like why I'm recommending sometimes these videos, I cannot find them. But the reason I recommend these videos, I wrote it, is because I am someone who is self-taught. I didn't get education in university or whatever. Like everything I know is from trial and error, YouTube, books, Google, and whatnot, and these GDC.